Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here, or you've been here before and haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Also, turn on a notification bell, and the thumbs ups are very much appreciated, along with your comments. Your comments are crucial. All right, well, tonight, this was a tough loss. Friday night Knicks did not thrill us. It was actually a very demoralizing loss, 118-97. However, it's not as demoralizing as some of the other losses we've had because we did go up against the hottest team in the NBA. That's right. 118-97. We could not even break the century mark tonight. Could not break the century mark. And we got off to a nice start. You know, racked up 27 points in the first quarter. And we thought, okay, you know, we're down by 6 after 1. But maybe we can get back in this game and not let it get too far out of hand. And by the half, though, unfortunately, we were down by 13. Down by 13 at the half. It was 57 to 44 at the halftime. And then it came out, and the Knicks, they took a couple of blows from the SUNS, and they were hanging around. But then the dry spell hit. In the third quarter, at the 5:52 mark, the score was 72-61. Knicks were down by 11. This was the key moment in this game. Either the Knicks were going to continue clawing back into this game and maybe take the lead, or they were going to regress and fall further behind. So what happened for the next 2.5 minutes? Exactly what we feared. By that point, they got outscored 11-3. And by that point, it was 83-64 until Burks hit a three-pointer, and pretty much the game was over. I mean, we can just look at the game flow. Here it is. You can just see, look at that. And we were able to keep in that second quarter. In that second quarter, there was a good about 5-minute stretch where the Suns only got a point or two. But look at our futility. We could not close that gap at all. And that was really frustrating. That was about, let's see, that began at the 9:46 mark. It was 40-29. And then by the 9:46 mark, and then by the 5:38 mark, it was 42-34. Man, I am annoyed by this game. I'm very much annoyed by this game, and I'm going to get into it. I'm not even going to show highlights. So if you want to see highlights, I'm sorry. You guys can click on House of Highlights or NBA or whatever. They have great highlights. Those are the highlights that I end up showing. Tonight I'm going to focus on what went wrong with this team and what does this mean? What does this loss mean to us? I'm going to get into that because I'm concerned about a couple of things, and we'll jump into it. Let's go to the team stats. The team stats, and as you can see down below, I have their assists. Phoenix 28, New York 13. Drink that in. Let it choke in you, like as if there's a hair going down with it. 13 assists for the Knicks. That is completely unacceptable. I don't understand how that happens. I mean, come on. RJ Barrett had 0 assists. 0. Booker put up 27 shots tonight. He put up 27 shots, and he was able to at least pick up 3 dimes. RJ couldn't even pick up one. Not one dime. Something is very wrong right now with this team, especially the starting unit. But the second unit, I mean, honestly, the second unit really didn't do much either, except for IQ. He was definitely a force tonight. But, we were without Derrick Rose, so that hurt us. But look at this. We put up 39 three-pointers, only hit 12. Barely, didn't even get 31%, hit 31%, 30.8%. They put up 28 three-pointers, but hit 46.4% of them. And really, that was the difference in the game. So we could just, they took much less three-pointers and hit a lot more of them, and they got their nice 2-point game going. Their mid-range game was clicking, and that's Booker. He's phenomenal in that. He really is a phenomenal player. Very impressed with Devin Booker. But CP3, man, the game is just so slow for him. The way he dissects a defense like a surgeon is just something. He looks like Dexter out there, just totally butchering us. I honestly, I'm so annoyed by this game that all I can do is smile right now, and I'm going to try and keep smiling through it. We did out-rebound them 51-35. Look at the offensive rebounds. They only had 1 offensive rebounds. We had 17. And we still lost this game like this? Well, there it is, because of the assists. Because we were not getting quality shots. Look, they got more steals than us. We only had 1 block in this game. We have the block nest monster, and we have Nerlens Noel, and we only got 1 block in this game. That's shocking. But we did have more turnovers than we had assists. Yeah, so we did something that was really crazy, ridiculous. 16 turnovers, 13 assists. Try and wrap your head around that. I'm struggling. They got 25 points off of those assists, so we lost that by 13 right there. And then, we lost the game by 21 points. Wow, that was the final score. Yikes. Points in the paint, 44-34 in favor of the Suns. Fast break points, 17-10. There were several moments there, especially in the third quarter, where Mikal Bridges just leaked out, and he got behind our defense for 2 easy buckets. One of them, I do remember Thibs just calling a timeout. He was just infuriated by it. The fouls were pretty even. We even had a 4-point lead at one point in this game. Oh, man. And look at the free throws. Free throws are almost even, so we cannot even blame this game on the refs this time. We can't. Even though they did screw up on this one goaltending call. And that moment when they allowed they let it go against Nerlens. Nerlens put it up, and JaVale McGee swatted it away, and they gave him the block, but it really was a goaltending, and the Knicks never even came back after that moment. That was it. It's weird how momentum can shift so drastically, and you can never recover from it when something like that happens. Very frustrating. Let's look at some stats here. Let's get into this, because our All-NBA player got less than double-digit points. He only scored 9 points tonight, 8 field goal attempts in 32 minutes, 0 for 2 from the three-point line, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, but 4 turnovers. What Randall was doing tonight is almost inexplicable. I don't know what was going on. Maybe too much turkey last night, maybe too much family time, which he's allowed to do. It's his prerogative. That's what happens. I don't know. Or it was the Suns defense. But something happened, because for our leading scorer to only pick up 9 points, it's tough to win. It's tough to win like that. But let's look at RJ Barrett. RJ took 10 shots, and he made 10 points. He needed 10 attempts to get 10 points. 1 of 3 from behind the arc, only 3 rebounds, 0 assists. He did only have 1 turnover, so again, more turnovers than assists right there, but still only no assists. Fournier got off to a nice hot start. He hit his first 3 3-pointers and never hit one ever again. It was almost like the 3-point gods were just like, you know what? It's looking too easy for him. Let's make him work a little harder. Well, the Suns made him work a lot harder. They really got him out of his rhythm, and he never recovered from it. He only got 2 more points the rest of the game after that stretch. Kemba Walker, even though his stat line looks like nice right now, Kemba Walker is one of the main reasons why the Suns were able to score almost at will for a big stretch of the time. There were many times, and people are asking out there on Twitter, hey, I thought RJ was supposed to have elite defense. Well, guess what? When you share the floor with someone like Kemba, who basically is a non-factor defensively, and Fournier, who is struggling defensively still, he's still trying to learn the scheme, and RJ has to help out often, then that means his assignment is going to be often, because the guys he's helping out on are not really the kind of players that switch over with authority to try and, disrupt Booker's attempt. No, in fact, Booker got a lot of wide open looks because RJ had to help out too much. But that's also an issue. Why are you helping off of your guys so much? There was another play I believe it was in the first quarter, where Kemba, first of all, actually, RJ was doing a good job defensively on Booker. Booker was trying to drive through the lane into the key, and RJ was doing fine. But Kemba decides to kind of do some help defense, leaves his guy wide open, so Booker finds his guy, and then Randall has to leave the Crowder, who's in the corner, to help out. I can't remember who was the guy who actually had the ball. It could have been Bridges. So he has to rush out to Bridges, and Bridges, all he does is passes it to Crowder, who's wide open and a much closer look. And there's a three-point bucket right there. That kind of stuff happens constantly over and over again against the Knicks because Kemba is a liability defensively. I mean, his 17 points were meaningless. Honestly, they were meaningless because let's show you. We'll show you. I'll come back to this, but let me show you the Suns. Yeah, look, Booker 14 of 27. Chris Paul only put up 3 shots tonight. That's it, but he got 14 points. Wow. I'm infuriated by this game, not because we lost, but because of how we lost. And that was my main concern in the pregame. When I first when I did the pregame earlier, I was like, okay, hey, Suns are, the second best team in the NBA at the moment. They're riding a 14-game win streak, trying to extend it to 15, which now they did. So I was like, okay, I want to see a solid effort for 48 minutes from our Knicks, and maybe they can steal this game. Maybe. Now, we were without Derrick Rose, who, it's not even an argument anymore. Derrick Rose has been our most consistent, valuable player of this season. He has. And he wasn't playing tonight because of the tweaked ankle. Hopefully he can play tomorrow. We'll need him because tomorrow night we have a back-to-back. Right now the Knicks are traveling to Atlanta to face the Hawks tomorrow night. The team that eliminated us from the playoffs last season. This is a huge game. And luckily, Thibs, not luckily, but I'm glad that Thibs finally at some point threw in the towel and brought in the bench. But even then, he still had Randall on the floor for quite a stretch. And he gave some minutes to Grimes. He gave some minutes to McBride. But let's talk about Quickley, though. Quickley's turning into a real player. 6 of 9 overall, 3 of 6 from behind the arc, 2 rebounds, 4 assists in his 20 minutes. 4 assists. He in less minutes than Kemba, he had double the assists. So there you go. Kemba took 11 shots, Quickley only took 9, and their point differential was only 1 point difference. Quickley was the second leading scorer with 16 points tonight. Quickley was a revelation. He really had a really good game. I'm really happy about his game, and it makes me start to wonder. That when Rose is healthy again, perhaps IQ should be the starting point guard on this team. Yeah. I also want to get into the rotation. Bringing in Burks before Quickley was a huge mistake. Huge mistake. He gave us nothing tonight. What did Burks even give us? 9 points. He did give it 6 rebounds. He didn't seem like a factor, though. Even though, that, for all we know, a lot of those points could have happened during, the blowout period in that second half. Yeah, because I don't think he was much of a factor in that first half at all. But Quentin Grimes got a look. Only hit 1 of 6, 1 of 5 from behind the arc. But his defensive intensity was there. Got the 4 rebounds. Those minutes are valuable, even if they weren't necessarily that productive. Having Grimes and Deuce and even Sims and even Knox get some burn is going to pay off later on. I talk about it all the time. And in that respect, that was one little positive in this game. There's so few positives that it's hard to even look. I mean, Fournier got started off so hot. He had 3 and 3. And look, that means he went 1 for 12 for the rest of the game. When your shooting guard goes 1 for 12 for the rest of the game, and he took the most shots on the entire team, you're just not going to win. Wow. So, yeah, this is troublesome. This is very troublesome. Look at the plus minus. So Julius, even though he only scored 9 points, he was a -7. So he was the lowest in terms of minus on the starting unit. That starting unit really just got cooked. So ineffectual. Mitch -10, Walker -13, Fournier -14, RJ -13. Wow. Nerlens was a -11. Nerlens also wasn't that effective. He really wasn't. No blocks for Nerlens. But he gave us a nice turnover, once a game. Oh man, I look. This team has problems. This team has issues in terms of consistency. Playing an entire 48 minutes of consistent basketball. And I think the main reason is because the team is misaligned right now. Misaligned. I am going to go back to my original request that I made about 2.5 weeks ago, where I believe that we need to swap the backcourts. Now, of course, Derrick Rose wasn't available for tonight, but if Rose was available, we need to begin games with our best and most productive players right now. Us trying to endure this starting unit's futility until they get it right is a lot to ask of the fans. I'm talking about us. I mean, I want to see us have a chance to win a game. I mean, Rose and IQ need to be the starting guards on this team. And then with RJ and Julius and Mitch, that would be our starting 5. Have Kemba, Fournier, Burks, Obi, and Nerlens as our backup unit, as our second unit. I don't care anymore. I don't care that our second unit, they're so tight. Who cares? We're losing games. You win with your first unit. Your first unit is what wins you games, not your bench unit. Your bench unit helps you stay in games, which they've been doing. But stay in games that the first unit puts you behind. That means you're losing. So it's time for a change. Now we're not going to, unless Rose is healthy, we're not going to see a change tomorrow. And then we have the Nets. So November's going to end on a tough stretch, but you never know. This team is a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde team. For all we know, they could go down to Atlanta tonight and just completely punish them, because Atlanta plays tonight as well. So it's not like they're going to have fresh legs to play us in a back-to-back. Now, I believe we're both traveling. I believe we're both on. I believe they are traveling as well. Actually, I should double check that. But either way, they play tonight. So at least that feels a little fair. Come on, first unit. RJ, it's time. It's time to wake up. You need to take control of this first unit. because when the ball is in Randall's hands, he turns it over. That's what happens. And when the ball's in Walker's hands, he turns it over. So you, RJ Barrett, the 21-year-old, the youngest player in the starting unit, it is now time for you to step up and take over this first unit. If this is how it's going to if Thibs is going to keep putting the same starting unit out on the floor, you are the one. Randall's going to keep doing what he's doing. Walker's going to keep doing what he's doing. Fournier's going to keep doing what he's doing. You, RJ Barrett, are the one that needs to step up. It has to begin tomorrow night. All right, well, thank you so much for watching this. Again, please subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Hit the thumbs ups, and I will see you tomorrow for a pregame show. Most likely, Foxy will be joining me. I'm not sure if it'll be on the Knicks-Verse channel or Sports Vibes TV with Keys. We'll see. Work that out. We'll announce it. But I really appreciate the support. All right, and please drop your comments. I want to hear how you guys feel about this game tonight. All right, well, I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.